Hello, welcome here to the Paddle House Greenpoint in Brooklyn. PPL 2 live for those watching worldwide. We've had so many good games at this incredible venue here in Brooklyn. Now, what is at stake for the teams taking part, and also some of the teams watching that played on the opening 2 days of competition? Because at stake is a place on podium day, a chance to play at the Hammerstein Ballroom in Manhattan alongside the players from the PPL. We've been watching the PPL 2 in action, quite a few dramatic games. We've seen a couple of super tie breaks, and one of the teams in action here in the opening game lost their other game in a super tie break. 2-6, 6-4, 8-10 to the Stingrays. The team made up by Vini Di Francesco and Miguel Briega need a win today to keep alive their hopes of qualifying for Sunday. Now, maybe that set they won on the opening day could prove key, because we could see a tie, a three-way tie, and it will go down to sets won, games, and points as a percentage to tie break between teams that end up with one win and one loss. Now, as for their opponents, New York Atlantics, well, they defeated LA Beat in their game, so they know that they are in control of their own destiny. A victory here would see them qualifying for Sunday's main event. Jaime Fermosel and Jose Carlos Gaspar were brilliant as they beat the LA Beat in their previous contest. Following the game here, only 2 games today. We've had 4 on day 1 and day 2. We've got women's doubles. Toronto Polar Bears against DC Matrix. Polar Bears won their game against Las Vegas Smash in straight sets, 6-3, 6-2. As for DC Matrix, they came up against the very good Miami Paddle Club. They played well, but also lost in straight sets, so they need a win later on today to maybe qualify for Sunday. In a very good position, Toronto Polar Bears, Jordi Lujan and Carla Rodriguez. But our focus is on the opening game here at this venue. Now, if you're watching for the first time, it's a great sport, paddle. It's accessible for players from all skill levels, and you've got an enclosed space. So I'm sorry if you've obviously played paddle and this is obviously not new to you. But just quickly, you have long rallies. It allows beginners and even advanced players to enjoy the game equally, because you have these walls, which of course you can see. You've got a glass wall, then there's a mesh or cage or fence up above at the back, which is a 4-meter tall wall, and along the sides, which stands at 3 meters. Now, of course, if the ball hits the glass, it comes out very differently if it hits the cage. And of course, there are so many different effects that can be used when playing paddle. Now, it is a racket sport, so plenty of similarities with other racket sports. You serve cross court, so you have 2 serves. The scoring system is the same as tennis, with a golden point, which has also been introduced in some tennis competitions. Now, a tiebreak in the second set or first set would be to 7 points. You need to win by 2. Should it go to a super tiebreak, that would be 10 points, the first to 10, or the first to win by 2 clear points. Now, what can we expect from the game here? A high tempo, and looking at how New York Atlantics played in their big win on day 2, Jose Carlos Gaspar was outstanding. Big hitter, was using those overhead shots superbly. It's great to watch how the players line up tactically. You can see during the course of the game how they play on the string. It's really important to cover the court. It's 10 meters wide by 20 meters long and surrounded by the glass and mesh walls. So the ball can obviously bounce off the walls, only one bounce on your side of the court. And the idea is to gain control of the net. That is how you win the vast majority of points. Now, of course, if you're at the net, a good shot to use, if you're the team at the backcourt, is the lob. It's a shot you will see often. Another, the overhead volleys, and also shots like the bajada and the bandeja. And I'll be mixing some Spanish words in the commentary. You might be familiar with the meaning, but for those who don't quite understand the jargon just yet, I will be offering some descriptions just to help you guys along if you are newcomers to this sport. Now, I know in the US, popularity is definitely on the rise. Courts are starting to pop up everywhere. If you know Paddle House, then you would know they've got courts in Denver, Nashville, 3 centres here in New York. This one here, Greenpoint, Brooklyn, also 2 in New York City. As Atlanta, another city to have paddle courts. They're popping up, not just in the US, Mexico, and also in Canada, because this is the best league. North America, 10 pro teams. DC Matrix, Florida Goats, Houston Volts, Las Vegas Smash, Los Angeles Beat, Mexico Waves, Miami Paddle Club, New York Atlantics, San Diego Stingrays, and from Canada, the Toronto Polar Bears. So lining up here in this first contest, New York Atlantics, Florida Goats. So for Florida, they were unlucky in their opening game because that super tiebreak was tight. At one point, it was tied 6-6. They missed a couple of good overhead opportunities to take the lead, and in the end, they fell to the Stingrays. So looking to bounce back from that loss, talented American player, just 20 years old, Vinny Di Francesco, and Spaniard, Miguel Briega. As for New York Atlantics, they have an eye on potentially qualifying for the Hammerstein Ballroom event on Sunday. That is where the PPL is currently taking place. Now, what a day for, just quickly, PPL, 14 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So it was entertaining. There was a win for Florida Goats against Miami Paddle Club. Straight sets, men and women's teams triumphant against Miami. Mexico Waves losing to the Toronto Polar Bears in the women's doubles and losing in a super tiebreak in a game that went in just over 2 hours. Wethe and Alex Ruiz defeating Bianco and Maxi Arce. That was a thriller. Also 2 hours, the women's. LA Beat edging out the Volts in a super tiebreak, and in another super tiebreak, another win for the Volts, beating LA Beat 2-1. In the final 2 games of the session, San Diego Stingrays took the women's doubles in straight sets, and there was a win for the men's doubles in straight sets against Stingrays. So plenty of games taking place at the Hammerstein Ballroom. More action today. The Volts against Las Vegas Smash, Miami Paddle Club, Mexico Waves. In the evening session, New York Atlantics, Toronto Polo Bears, and it will end with the Florida Goats, LA Beat. That will start no earlier than 2100 hours local time. The session at the Hammerstein Ballroom will commence at 11 o'clock local time. So, first, we've got Florida Goats, New York Atlantics. Jaime Fernosel, Jose Carlos Gaspar in white. In the dark jersey, the Florida Goats, who need to win to keep alive their hopes of qualifying for Sunday. They win straight sets. That would be a great result. Now, as for the New York Atlantics, they could afford to lose if they pick up one set. It goes to super tiebreak. So it's going to be very interesting. We've got other teams on watch to see what happens here in this first game. Now I'll be describing some of the rules of paddle, some of the shots you could use, and just quickly as they start, a few things to keep an eye on. Minimise risks, reduce errors, control the net, and a lot of shots down the middle are winners. You reduce the risk also by aiming shots down the middle, and you've got to use those back walls as well. If you've never played paddle before, it can be strange sometimes. getting used to playing with walls at the back and at the side. Double-handed backhand, sometimes under pressure. Very tennis shot. You don't see too many shots in paddle hit with topspin apart from the overhead smash. So Vibra. Okay, so just quickly, you have the smash. Different types of smash can be used with different types of spin. You have a Vibra, which is a quick, deceptive, angled shot when you're near the net, and normally it travels to the wall at an angle. It's really difficult to play back. The bandeja is a slightly more defensive shot, and there's a salida, and it's a good one though. No return. Now you will see players dart off court and keep the point alive. You can either just chip it back over the sidewall, 3 meter high, and give yourself time to get back onto court, or you try and hit a winner, and that could be bouncing on their side of the court, out the other door, or into the net on their side of the court. Now, quick changeover for the opening game here. You get about 90 seconds. In theory, no umpire. See no issues really at all in the game. Just one call where a serve was really tight. Was it in, was it out? And in the end, they just took the point again. Played in very good spirit. Lots of sportsmanship here at the Padel House Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And the smash comes home. Now, that was Gaspar's trademark shot in that victory over the LA Beat. I think he missed one. He was that consistent. Very good at the net. As that ball sails out. Serving like that, why? Because the players automatically play on their normal side of the court. So he will drift over to the left, Fermosel, because he plays on the backhand side. It's approach volley. So Gaspar back, goes for the big hit, and look at the kick on that. Wonderful topspin. Well, you have a por 3 and a por 4. Sounds better in Spanish. Por 4, por 3, and it's an overhead smash that goes out over the court, over the side wall, hence the name, por 3. That was a por 3, because it went over the 3 meter wall. Now, if the overhead smash bounces out of the court directly, without hitting a wall, then it's the back wall, which is a por 4. Shot there from Di Francesco. Another big smash there. What a shot from Di Francesco. Back in for Jose Carlos Gaspar, and that's a good winner. Good salida though from the young American. Do not try that at home unless you've got nimble feet. It is so difficult to master because you're following the flight of the ball. You're aiming not to trip over the net or run into the post or into the door frame, and when you get there, you've got to hit that ball back onto the court and get yourself back onto the court. It is tough to master, but these players make it look so easy. One in this opening set. Expect a high tempo game. We are playing basically at sea level, which does make for a slower game. Points are slower. If you play at altitude, the air is thinner and the ball travels faster. If you play at intermediate advanced level, you would notice the difference. If you play, you're just starting, you might not notice a big difference. But if you do play at altitude, you would notice the difference that you're tired after the first set. So very few tournaments are played, for example, in La Paz. Nice deep volley behind the service line. Those slices, when they hit the back wall, are so difficult to recover. Now on the courts, you can see to either side of this main court, you get players warming up for the next match we have in store here at the Padel House Greenpoint, the Toronto Polar Bears DC Matrix Women's Doubles, and also the game's taking place at the Hammerstein Ballroom, because this is the venue that is being used as a training facility by the other players. Just gets back to his feet. Gaspard. Francesco with the bajada. Lob slightly short. And made to pay. And we have 3 break points in the third game of the opening set. Well, we've seen some big power shots here, but unlike tennis, it's not just about the power of the serve, the power of the passing shot, because here a passing shot can sometimes work against you, in that you have a play at the net, you hit a passing shot, it'll bounce, hit the back wall, and come back towards the net. And there's a break in this opening set. 2-1 New York Atlantics lead the Florida Goats. Going to make the most of this little break here, just to, talk to you about paddle, where it started, Mexico, back in 1969. Someone's garden, and he get Corcuera. Couldn't quite fit in the tennis court, opted for a paddle court. And then it kind of moved to Spain, back to South America, and now you've got courts worldwide. It's gone global, paddle. Now Spain do provide many of the world's best players, along with Argentina. You've got Brazil and a few other countries starting to produce players, and also in the US now, you've got players, there's Bini Di Francesco, knocking on the door of the top 200. In the women's USA team, you've got Brittany Dubbins, who plays for Miami Paddle Club, who is just outside the top 80 and climbing. So we're seeing a marked improvement in the game here in North America. So the goal is, with this PPL2, to provide players with the opportunity to play at a very good level. And the added bonus of this PPL2, which, it's in its inaugural year, only really came to life back in February. There was a draft, and now, we're seeing the teams compete in both the PPL and the PPL2. Now, the ultimate goal is to produce players, short, medium, long term, that compete at the highest level. So for the players here at the PPL2, the best doubles teams will get the opportunity to compete in the PPL's championship event, the Cities Cup, which will be taking place at the end of the season in Miami, December the 3rd to December the 6th. So that is the ultimate prize. I'll explain how that works. It'll be a play-in, playing against the teams that qualify 7th and 8th because of the 10 franchises or clubs or teams. 8 qualify for the Cities Cup. 2 fail to qualify, so 2 will miss out completely on the season finale. And the team qualifying 7th and 8th would have to play the 2 top teams from the PPL2 before playing in the Cities Cup. So an added incentive for these players. Looks to chip Di Francesco Gaspar, who's forced back deep. Double-handed backhand. Just whips it over the net. And again, does have a tennis background, as many players do in paddle. But we are starting to see the younger players, this newer generation, start straight in paddle. And that's something that hopefully we'll see here thanks to the PPL. Good winner there. Need to gain control of the net. That was Briega on the right side. The Spaniard with the overhead winner. But again, looking dominant at the net, the New York Atlantics. Fermosel and Jose Carlos Gaspar. Gaspar serving. 15-all. Look for the cage, kicked up there. Reacted well. Di Francesco gets the call. Briega, that both players are at the net. That is hugely important. Communication. Communication is key. Because during long periods of the point, especially if you're on defense, you're not even facing the net. You can kind of guess where players would stand, but you don't know exactly where they are. So you need your doubles partner to shout out, back, forward, deep, at the net, split. Now, a lot of those commands are in Spanish. Atrás, at the back, delante, forward, red is the net. So it's good to actually listen to the players too. If you get the chance just to be courtside. Good serve and volley there. And that's a good shot deep. Didn't go for the winner outright, just tucked Di Francesco right into the corner. You can hear there the sound of the racket against the glass because such a good shot, you have no room to turn and maneuver. Well played again by Gaspar. Become a huge fan of the 28-year-old. I mean, watch them play the other day and here too. Brings it back home again. And in the end, bit of frustration there, Di Francesco. They don't have a safety net. They lose, they are out. They are heading home. New York Atlantics, of course, are the local side. And that this event is being played in New York City. Right now we're in Brooklyn, but of course, Hammerstein Ballroom is in Manhattan. By the way, the PPL will be commencing very shortly indeed. So you can watch this PPL 2 here and also tune in to what's going on elsewhere. If you want English commentary, you can join Brian Finley and Germán Klaus. Two very talented commentators bringing you the best paddle this side of the Atlantic to those watching around the world, or in Spanish. Pro Pete Consuegra and Javier Carrasco. They will be your commentators also for podium day on Sunday from the Hammerstein Ballroom. But before that starts, do stick around here watching the PPL 2. The recovery there from Gaspar, digs it out from his feet once again. And again, it was going down the line. It's a really good shot, double-handed backhand down the line. Insisting with Di Francesco. And that was probably too casual there, way too casual from Briega. Now, his intention was fence down. But sometimes you can get unlucky and that ball can just kick up, and it did. And it sat up invitingly for Gaspar. You need to put away those opportunities, because suddenly you could be on the front foot throughout the point, and then one bad return and you've lost the point. Di Francesco, decent serve, tucked up against the glass, and there you go, that shot down the middle. I like to call it the corridor of uncertainty. It's one of those ones where there's a gap, obviously, because players cover the side in case you get passed down the line. And it's one of those ones where if you see your doubles partner just edge to one side, you kind of pull out the shot and you end up just both looking at the ball past you. Well, they do well to hang on to their service game, but they are still 1 break down. Florida Goats, New York Atlantics lead 3 games to 2 here at the Padel House Greenpoint in Brooklyn. Remember, following this match here, stay with us because we've got the Toronto Polar Bears DC Matrix women's doubles coming up. That was the shot. Look, just all the pace of the volley disappeared, and the ball just bounced up comfortably for Gaspar. Look, there we go. Perfect height. And also, Briega wasn't ready for the next shot. That's something you've always got to do. Basically, be on your toes, rack it back to the centre after each and every shot, because the thing about paddle is, unless you send that ball out, and even the side isn't always a winner, out the back, you might not win the point. Because you've got the walls, players read the bounce really well, and the more you play, the more you learn. Because of course, different effects on a different wall, on the glass, can be very different. A slice is very, very effective. The top spin, less so, unless it's an overhead smash, because it just kicks up off the glass, high, big arc, and you can bring it back to your side of the court. Now, a slice, when it hits the wall, especially if it bounces low, can sometimes just crawl out, and that's a winner. And if it's not a winner, it does set you up brilliantly if you're both at the net, because obviously it's a tough shot to return. So a lot of tactics. It's almost like a game of chess, a lot of strategy. And here we are, players back out, 3-2. Jaime Fermosel with the serve. Gaspar just tracks it all the way. Straight out, 15-love. Now, you will hardly ever see an ace at this level. If you're just starting, there'll be lots. But going for that shot down mid on this time, not clearing the net, Gaspar. But even if you don't serve an ace, you can still serve a good delivery and get into a good position and then command the point. There we see it was a good serve, good volley, comfortable, kept their opponents deep behind the service line and control the point. 30-15. Good deep serve again for Fermosel. There we go again. Good serve, good deep volley, putting Di Francesco under pressure. His return was good, but Fermosel took an extra step towards the net and it came at a very comfortable height to then send the volley towards Di Francesco's doubles partner Briega to win the point outright. Well, just lost track of the ball again, Briega. Seems a bit frustrated and just going out to some sweat off the racket handle and just probably take a breather, bit of a pep talk from the coach. Still just 1 break down. Brings it back, Vinny Di Francesco. Now when you smash, you can look to smash down the line, down the middle. Try and use the back glass at an angle and try and loft it over the sidewall. Oh, maybe tough shot there. Allowed it to drop and was looking for a Bibora, Di Francesco, when perhaps a bandeja, slightly more defensive. That is the tray, is the literal translation from Spanish into English. Why? Because, now, I've said this in yesterday's commentary, so if you've heard it before, I'm going to need just 30 seconds to describe that shot again. So basically, you're carrying a tray of drinks, if you're right-handed, about shoulder high, right-hand side, and you bring it down in front of your body, across, down to your waist, as if you were lowering the tray and try not to spill the drinks. That is the action of the bandeja. High, low, across, and you end up waist high. And it's a very useful shot. If it's a high bouncing ball, you use an open-faced racket and you try to send it deep into the opponent's court. And sometimes it's a defensive shot, but it can help you gain control of the point. Four-3. They held on to their service game. Marcel and Gaspar will return up 4-3 with that game break. Some of the highlights from this opening set. Watching Florida Goats, New York Atlantics. The Atlantics already one win, looking for their second and the place on podium day. They lead the Florida Goats, who lost in their debut in a super tiebreak. Here it's 4-3. Quick look at the standings. The Atlantics have played 1-1-1. The San Diego Stingrays have played 2-1-2, both in a super tiebreak. So they are in a great position to qualify. First or second, we'll have to wait and see. Should the New York Atlantics win, they would have dropped less sets than the Stingrays, who dropped a set in their first game and a set in their second. As for the women's, well, Miami Paddle Club play 2-1-2, winning 86% of the service games. They've been outstanding here. And in action later, the Toronto Polar Bears, who are second, would clinch second spot if they were to win their game against the DC Matrix, who could still qualify. Back underway here, 4-3. Atlantic's lead comes up short on this occasion. Gaspar, good recovery with that one-handed backhand. Again, sends that lob over. Di Francesco had to backtrack. And he goes just wide, lost his bearing slightly. The American just drifts over the wall and out. Gaspar with a block volley. Lines himself up for the big hit. Ooh, wayward. Seen a couple of those in this opening set. $15-all. Oh, and that's unfortunate. Doesn't get much power on that smash, Gaspar. And in the end, fortunate with the net call. Kissed the tape and just crawled over for Florida Goats, who find themselves up in the 8th service game, 2 points away from breaking back. 15-30. And long from Di Francesco. Always annoying if you can't just get that return in play. $30-all, huge point for both teams. And that is a really good serve. Was it just out? Just out. Well, there's no umpire. No Hawkeye. Great recovery there by Di Francesco. Nice lob over Briega. Gaspar. Oh, gets a bit of luck. Briega thought it was going to clear the side fence, and then it didn't. And a chance now for a 5-3 lead. Brilliant slice return. Really difficult. You've got to hit it first time. That's what Di Francesco tried to do. Because if you allow it past you, it will be an impossible shot to play. It will die in that corner. So, serving today in this first set, Florida Goats. Now, if you're just tuning in, day 3 of PPL 2. Good winner, Di Francesco. Watching this sport grow here in North America. A couple of big smashes. This time, Miguel Briega. 30 love. Right now, I think you can find courts in about 120 countries worldwide. Oh, look at that pass. That was tennis. That was tennis-esque. Double-handed backhand cross-court winner. And there are new courts, by the way, and clubs opening regularly here in North America. So get looking. Has a massive social appeal. Accessible for all skill levels. It's easy to pick up. It's difficult to mastermind like any sport, but it's fun. And as far as investment, there is of course a court hire, but you've got a racket. The footwear is slightly different from that one in tennis. You have a bit more protection at the front and down the side. The balls are different, but that's about it. Great recovery again by Gaspar. Whoa! Incredible play by Gaspar. Well, did really well to dig that shot out. I don't know if it was self-preservation, but he had his racket there, bounced off, went back into play, but he was down on his backside. It was impossible to then win the point. But even so, they lead 5-4, and they'll be serving for the first set after this break. I was talking about the differences between the sports, of course, with the footwear. As for the balls, the pressure and also size, different from tennis balls. I mean, you shouldn't really play with a tennis ball on a paddle court because it's very, very difficult. I mean, the bounce is completely different. It's not really suited for the enclosed glassed wall courts. So the pressure is different, the internal pressure. I mean, tennis balls are inflated to about 14 psi. Paddle balls, depending on the altitude, 10 to 11 psi. And also, the paddle ball is slightly smaller. And the bounce height is also different. So, if you play with a tennis ball, it's a lot more aggressive, and those balls just fly off the glass, too quickly, and it kind of ruins the tactical side of paddle. And they're not expensive, paddle balls. You just keep them in those airtight containers, like a tennis ball. They will last for quite a long time. Here, in professional matches, you get a new set of balls every 9 games. We're just waiting now for the Florida Goats players to come back out on court. Watching the first game of 2 on day 3 of the PPL 2 from the Padel House Greenpoint in Brooklyn. Florida Goats, New York Atlantics. The Atlantics serving for the first set. Whoa. On that occasion, not enough power on that smash, or even the angle too, from Gaspar, and Briega with the put away. There gets what he was looking for, onto that mesh fence where the bounce is always unpredictable. Or just clips the net as it comes over. (15-30) on Fermacel's serve. Lob over Gaspar, sends it back over. Trying to defend, but they get the chance to come forward again. That ball down the middle. Excellent. And look how they celebrate. Briega with a couple of really good shots in this service game. And suddenly 3 great points for the Florida Goats. Miss out on the first opportunity. Still have 2 more. The Goats. New York Atlantics need to win this point, send it to a golden point, and then it would still be break point, but also set point. Wow, and another great salida, and it's 5-5. Wonderful play there by Briega. This time Gaspar did clear the side fence, but great anticipation. Florida Goats, and they break back to tie the first set 5-5. Well, they had a long game on day 1. The team from Florida. They lost the first set 6-2, won the second set 6-4, and lost in the super tie break 10-8 to the Stingrays. But here they are, leading in the set. Great recovery once again by Gaspar. On this occasion, Lady Luck not smiling on Florida Goats. Already had one net call go their way on this occasion, all just dropping on their side of the court. 15-all. Now, for those wondering how the PPL 2 has been working here, the Atlantic Stingrays, Beat Goats and Waves are the 5 teams that have been competing in the men's. DC Matrix, Volt, Smash, Miami Paddle Club and Toronto Polo Bears, their women's teams have been competing here. So 5 of the 10. Por 4. Gaspar. Again, they take their time. An umpire might have just said time, and if they continue, you would get a warning, and then you get a points deduction. There's a great shot on the back glass there. Used really well by Marcel. And that's a brilliant pickup and a clever volley. Really well played. They were on the back foot throughout the rally, and they have done extremely well, New York Atlantics. Both Marcel and Gaspar with some great pickups. Oh no. Well, they do say you're at your most vulnerable after breaking your opponents, and we've just seen a counter break. So they briefly took the lead, 15-love, 5-5, Florida Goats. But the Atlantics then claiming the next 4 points in quick succession to head back to their team bench, leading 6-5 in the first set and serving to clinch the opening set here at the Paddle House Greenpoint in Brooklyn. Enjoying some of the highlights from that last game. Remember, just 2 matches here on day 3, following the 4 games we had on day 1 and day 2. 2 matches to complete the mini round robin groups. Though PPL 1 has another full day of competition with 8 matches. Volts from Houston against Las Vegas Smash, Miami Paddle Club, Mexico Waves, New York Atlantics, Toronto Polo Bears, Florida Goats, Los Angeles Beat. Men's and women's doubles on day 3. The session will be starting at 11 o'clock local time, which is in around about 10 minutes. You can stay here with us. It's a great game here. And then you can also tune in to watch the PPL 1 from the Hammerstein Ballroom. Serving for the first set, New York Atlantics. Gaspar with a good volley. Briega just sends his return out. 15-love. And then anticipated that one again. He's not having as much success, Jose Carlos Gaspar, as he did in the victory on day 2. Credit to Miguel Briega, who's been reading the intentions of his opponent really well. Fred Marcel, cushioned overhead shot. And that is a big war cry. He knows he hasn't been hitting them like yesterday. So maybe a bit of frustration and relief at the same time. It was a big point. 2 away from taking the first set. And again, another big hit. 3 set points for New York Atlantics. Claim it, Fred Marcel, Jose Carlos Gaspar. Not the tempo. Got broken. Bounced back well to break. Florida Goats, and now leading 40-15. Looking for back-to-back games and the first set. Gaspar, sliced serve. And that was a tough one for Gaspar, who shocked Di Francesco. Still 2 set points for the Goats. 2 points away from back-to-back breaks. And we would go to a tie-break in the opening set. Jose Carlos Gaspar serves down the middle. Fred Marcel looks for the fence. Kicks up slightly. Goes for another hit winner. Oh, brilliant from Di Francesco. And a lob to get back into position. Fred Marcel. Well, they managed to hang in that point somehow. Well, they're looking to see if one of the shots were valid in the rally. Now, it's one of those ones where the players need to decide. There's no umpire. To be honest, I didn't spot any infringements myself. I don't think Vinny touched the net. If he did, they would lose the point. Oh no! An incredible, the cushion volley into the net. And they miss out on 3 set points. And we have a tie break. What a turnaround. Well, a tie break here in the first set. Great passing shot there, Gaspar. 1-0. Oh, that attempted really shot through the legs. Very difficult indeed. 2-love. So they cement their mini break. Well, we saw a thrilling game where the Mexico Waves lost the first 6 points in a tiebreak to the San Diego Stingrays. They then fought back to have a match point themselves, because it was tied 1-1 in sets. And they lost that opportunity and ended up losing the game. So you just need to get on with focus, keeping the rally alive, looking for the opportunity, and trying to get your first point up on that scoreboard and then build from there. Great recovery. Brilliant there, Briega. Di Francesco hits the winner, but credit to the Spaniard. Miguel Briega making sure Florida stayed alive in the point, and they are now off the mark. Cross, great anticipation again by Briega. Well, he started the set slowly, the Spaniard, but he's been superb in the last 4 games, and they lose that mini break. Bouncing off Di Francesco. That's unfortunate. It kicks up off your trainer or some part of your body, because what you're trying to do is get out of the way, and then the ball comes back towards you off the back glass. You can just stay alive in the point. Quick change of ends after 6 points. Watching here at the Padel House Greenpoint in Brooklyn, the New York Atlantics take on the Florida Goats. A defeat for Florida in their opening game in a super tie-break. As for the team from the Big Apple, they beat LA Beat in straight sets. Perfect hit. Now, the good thing about that smash was it bounced at the top of that glass, so it travelled really far. If it bounces higher and it hits that fence, sometimes it just flies straight up, straight down, and in the end you end up defending, because it just allows your opponents to get back into position, and sometimes it's a really easy shot to play. So that was exactly where Gaspar was aiming the shot for, and that's a brilliant backhand sliced winner. Jaime Fermosel, who after losing back-to-back points, they've won the last 3 New York Atlantics. Well, they had 3 set points earlier at 6-5. And there we go, at the 4th opportunity, they take the set point. 7-6. New York Atlantics lead here against the Florida Goats, who are basically playing catch-up throughout that first set. They led very briefly at 5-5, 15-love. They then got broken, back, sent the game to a tie-break. But in the tie-break, the Atlantics proving too good. highlights from the opening set here at the Padel House in Brooklyn. That first set taking exactly 1 hour. Now the Goats need to win the next set and the super tiebreak. As for the Atlantics, following that big win yesterday, they're in a great position to qualify for podium day. Well, let's see what happens now in this second set. It's going to be interesting to see how the Goats bounce back. Now, in the game they lost on the opening day of the competition, on day one, they did lose the first set. 6-2. They won the second set 6-4, and they were so unlucky in the super tiebreak. But now they have no safety net. And playing with confidence, the New York Atlantics. So love 15. They struggled on some of those forehand returns off the serve. Di Francesco. That's another good serve, another good delivery. Once again, Jose Carlos Gaspar. 30-15. Lovely floated backhand lob, just disguises it. Expected the bajada, goes to the big hit, Di Francesco. Cross-court volley is superb, catches Biega, darting forward, and then that was behind him, died as it hit the mesh fence. Well, looking at this pairing of Jaime Fermosel and Jose Carlos Gaspar, you would think they could be with a chance on Sunday of taking that title. It would be a good game against the San Diego Stingrays, the other team that have played to 1-2. Both of their wins, they defeated the Florida Goats on day one and the Mexico Waves on day two in a super tiebreak. Now for those who want to tune in on Sunday, 9 AM it will start at the Hammerstein Ballroom in Manhattan. You can join Pete Consuegra, Javier Carrasco, commentators on the live Spanish feed. Francesco just sends that volley into the net there. Slashed it slightly. And in English, Brian Finley and Germán Klaus, or English commentators for Championship Day, PPL and also PPL 2. Just a scurry across Gaspar. Ooh, just leaning back slightly, maybe just took his eye off the ball for a split second, Di Francesco, because obviously you want to see where your opponents are and try and select the best option, and maybe just reacted a bit slow on that occasion, Di Francesco. There gets the shout, Briega, exactly where the opponents were standing from Vinny, and that lob comes up short, and the winner, Jaime Fermosel, and not the start Florida Goats would have wanted in this second set. They got broken early in the first set too. They broke back at 5-4, and they've gifted their service game to New York Atlantics. 3 unforced errors, 2 volleys into the net, and that wayward smash from Vinny Di Francesco. So already they find themselves under pressure here against the New York Atlantics. Tremendous volley there from the Spaniard, Miguel Briega. A bandeja from Sir Carlos, and that was a brilliant shot down the middle. So many shots down the middle, so many points are won with shots down the middle. It's a really good option. Sometimes you see players just allowing the ball to pass, thinking that their doubles partner is going to cover, or both players go at the same time and the rackets clash. 15-30. So we've been looking at the basics of paddle, how it combines elements of both tennis and squash, but mainly just because of the walls, not how the game is played. And the court, 10 by 20. You have the glass walls and the mesh, and you can bounce that ball, play off the walls and mesh. And all of the shots are very similar to tennis. You know, the drive, half volley, slice volley, the smashes, the approach shot. There are quite a few shots though that are unique to paddle. We're looking at those shots after this key point. Break point. Gets it back again. Brilliant play there. But in the end, they are broken. And they break back straight away. Florida Goats. Oh, so important to counter break as soon as you've been broken. So some of those unique shots to paddle. The Bibora, that quick angled shot, similar to the bandeja, which is a slower technique. You have other shots, chiquita, which is basically Spanish for small thing or little one. And it's almost like a soft finesse delicate touch where you kind of just lift the ball over the net and you're aiming basically for the feet of your opponent. So all 4 players at the net, you just kind of dink it over at the feet. So they have to play an upward shot. Bajada, that is the shot when basically you bring that ball down from high to low. Another great shot is the Tacuela. Not seen any of those so far. That is similar to the Chiquita, but it's even softer. And it lands basically right by the net on the opposite side of the court. And if you can get it to have lots of backspin and it literally just dies or falls asleep, then it becomes a dormilona. Dormir, from to sleep in Spanish. We'll continue the Spanish language class after this service game. There you go, Viega on serve. Love 15. Nice put away. Jaime Fermosel. Just outside in top 80 in the world, Jaime Fermosel Delgado. Normally plays with Matteo Franceschi from Madrid. But looking at how he's been playing here, I think he has a good chance of climbing up those rankings. His regular doubles partner is from Italy. I have been impressed with how he plays alongside Jose Carlos Gaspar. Now, in the past, there have been players who have teamed up at the Pro Padel League and then switched from their other partners to the partners that they've played with at the PPL. As for Jose Carlos Gaspar, he is slightly higher ranked than Fermosel, number 76 in the world. He's from Malaga. Both players 28 years old. You see quite a few young, talented players breaking onto the scene, but a lot of veterans too. It's a sport where you get players competing well into their 40s. I mean, later, we've got a women's doubles coming up. Hope she'll forgive me for saying this, but Elgay, for the DC Matrix, is 41 and played really well in yesterday's game against Miami. I promise not to say her age again, just in case. Well, this is important. A really important game. You broke after being broken, and you get broken again. So you have to break. There's nothing really that Florida can do if they don't break the Atlantics in this second set. Gaspar switching things up at the net. Gets to attack it really well. That was so good. Watch how, if we get the replay, if not, I'll just explain what happened. Marcel turned what was a defensive shot deep behind the service line, 3 strides forward, and suddenly he was high in an attacking position to hit that winner. You stay back and you continue playing defensive shots and allow your opponents to gain control of the net. Quick exchange at the net, but still we're seeing York on the front foot. I was going to say, it looked like a good attacking shot, that double-handed backhand, but you saw how it just came off the back wall really high at a very comfortable height for the Atlantics, and then hit the winner down the middle. Of course, in tennis it would have been a winner, a passing shot, but not in paddle. 3 opportunities for a 4-1 lead, and they don't need all 3. They take the first. 7-6, 4-1, New York Atlantics, just 2 games away from a win here and a place on podium day. Watching some highlights here, just quickly. If you want to also watch PPL, tune in, because it's going to be a mammoth day. It has already started. We got 14 hours yesterday of the best paddle you can see this side of the Atlantic, and right now the best paddle in the world, clearly. The Las Vegas Smash need 2-0 against the Houston Volts. Raquel Eugenia Jimena Velasco against Maria Eulalia and Marta Barrera for the Volts. So already Brian Finley and Man Klaus are commentating in English, with Pete Consuegra and Javier Carrasco in Spanish. Listen to them. We'll stay here to see the outcome of this first match, followed by the women's doubles, Toronto Polo Bears, DC Matrix. They had a watch party, if I'm not mistaken, DC Matrix, for their first game against Miami Paddle Club. I wonder if they're going to have another watch party. I heard there was a free drink, a free hamburger. I might make my way down there for the next tournament. Great angle, brilliant, brilliant. That just died, like died. It hits just under that side mesh, and there's no bounce. Game over. 15 love. Big hit there from Di Francesco, but lacked height. Lacked height, you could see as it came back. Didn't pick up any pace, I would say even lost pace because of the spin. It's one of those ones where you're in a position to win the point outright, but if you don't, you might just lose the point. And that's what's happened to Florida Goats, who are 30 love down on their service game. Chip and charge. It's a tough one. Stuck up against the glass. Picked it up really well there. Fer Marcel. Di Francesco looking for the passing shot down the middle. And again, gets it right the second time. Really well played 15-30. He does it all the time, Gaspar. Luckily, those back glass walls are made of stern stuff, because to gain momentum as he races forward, he just slams into that and kind of propels himself forward. Well, 15-40. 3 break points for a 5-1 lead. Crafty lob, really well played. Great lob back though from Fermosel. Smash down the line. Scoots it back out from under his feet. And that was a good winner there by Di Francesco. Still though, facing 2 break points. Now serving to Jaime Fermosel. A couple of good winners, the 20-year-old for Florida in this service game. And again, they battle back. They did this 6-5 down in the first set. And they faced 3 set points. And they won that golden point. Here they are facing another key golden point. Well, they remain just 1 break down and very much alive in this second set. Now they still need to break the New York Atlantics, but 4-2 is definitely a smaller hill to climb than 5-1. Oh, great shot that from Di Francesco. Just clearing the net. But on the back foot throughout the whole point. Tough. Oh, winds up for a big hit. Just see that racket go back and then accelerate through the shot, building up pace. High point of contact and the finish across the body, down low. Perfect execution. Vinny Di Francesco. Now as a gap down the line, he completely fooled Di Francesco on that occasion. Jose Carlos Gaspar. And they missed an opportunity for 5-1 moments ago, but a good game sees them take a 5-2 lead in the second set. They took the first set in a tie-break. So now just 1 game away from victory. New York Atlantics. Oh, new balls here, which does normally help the team that serve. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's another watch party coming up in the women's doubles. I believe DC Matrix again will be having a watch party. This time, free pizza and the first drink on the house. I'm tempted. Well, here in the first game, DC Matrix are up next, serving to stay in the match. Florida Goats, not just in the match, but serving to stay in the event. A defeat, and they are heading home. And in the opposite direction, not yet packing their bags, you would have the New York Atlantics on podium day. Great recovery, but that's much better. You know, they're doing really well because, I mean, they're trailing, of course. They lost the first set, second set, and the racket just starts weighing a lot more. You start just struggling to hit normal shots, but they're playing really well. Now, let's see if they can just take their service game, and then they would only be one break down. And there they are, 40 love up. Arches his back really, really well. Vinny DiFrancesco, who's been hitting some big overhead smashes in this second set. 5-3. So they are just one break down. Now serving still for the match, New York Atlantics. He's been very consistent on serve the last 2 days. José Carlos Gaspar will be the Spaniard, serving to Miguel Briega. 5-3 up. Second serve. Love 15. Oh, good volley that. Down through the legs of DiFrancesco. So Carlos Gaspar, 15-0. Marcel just sits that up too high, and again, oh, that's the second time we've seen that. I think that's the commentator's curse. I was just saying moments ago in the previous smash that DiFrancesco had been brilliant with the smashes throughout the second set, so there you go. One of those ones happened to him earlier in the first set. You just take your eye off the ball for a split second. 30-15, just 2 points needed by the New York Atlantics. They would join the San Diego Stingrays on 2 games played, 2-1. Both teams on a perfect record heading into podium day. 3 match points. Long with the first serve, Gaspar. And an excellent winner down the line. And a straight set victory. It was tough for New York Atlantics, especially that first set, where they missed 3 set points. But in the tiebreak,
Give me that love. Give me that soul. Out of all the places I've been, out all the money I spend, never had anything that look like this. This must be what they mean when they say, feel like I could float on cloud 9. Butterflies flutter inside, tears falling down from the back of my eyes. Simple things, it's the simple things. Really, give me that love, give me that soul. Gotta know that it's real. Give me that peace, give me that heart, give me that feel. Gotta know that it's real. Need something that'll keep it real. Need something that'll seal the deal. Need something I can finally feel. Give me that beat. Give me that love. Give me that soul. Give me that beat. Give me that love. Give me that soul. Gotta know that it's real. Give me that peace. Give me that heart. Give me that feel. Gotta know that it's real. Give me all of that. Peace, love, and soul to be all of that. I got a brand new attitude, that's a fact. And if I said something mean, I don't take it back. See, when you step out as fresh as I is, you get a brand new walk, air of confidence. All I need in my life is a compliment to make my heart feel something that it needs to feel. Need something that'll keep it real. Need something that'll seal the deal. Need something I can finally feel.
looking forward now to the final game here in Brooklyn, Padel House Greenpoint, PPL 2. We've got the Toronto Polar Bears against DC Matrix. Jordi Luján, 35-year-old from Argentina, partners Carla Rodriguez from the US, who plays on the drive side for the team from Canada. Now for DC Matrix, we saw these two players in action yesterday. Shannon Hudson and Elgay Petrauskate, 41-year-old veteran who played really well alongside Shannon. The two gave Miami Padel Club, despite the scoreline, a really good game. So let's see how they perform today. They are at the far end of the court. Shannon on the right-hand side, so on the left of your screen. Elgay on the backhand side. And nearest to the camera, you've got Jordi Luján on the left-hand side, backhand, and Carla Rodriguez here with that heavy strapping on that right arm. Now, I don't think she was carrying an injury. Could just be precautionary. So what to expect from this final game here from the Padel House Greenpoint? It's been a thrilling 3-day event, not yet over. Day 4 is the big day, it's podium day. That is when the winners will take their title and points in that race to qualify for the season finale in Miami in December. Now just quickly, before we focus on this second match of the day, look back at what happened earlier today. Florida Goats, who lost their opening game, losing again, but it was tight, just like their first day defeat. This time beaten by the New York Atlantics, who had earlier defeated LA Beat. So 2 wins out of 2 for the team from the Big Apple. Jaime Fermosel, José Carlos Gaspar winning 7-6, 6-3 against Vini Di Francesco and Miguel Briega. So that means that the Stingrays and Atlantics have both won their 2 matches here in New York. Congratulations to the 2 teams. Looking forward to that event on Sunday. And here in the women's standings, right now you've got Miami Padel Club with 2 wins in 2. That second victory came against DC Matrix. Their first win, comfortable against the Houston Volts, dropping just 1 game. Now, the Matrix, in that defeat to the impressive Miami Padel Club, looked good on their service games. And in the second set, they actually took a 2-1 lead. So, lots of positives despite the scoreline. And they were up against probably the in-form and top-seeded pairing here in New York. Brittany Dubbins, USA #1, ranked just outside the top 80 in the world. And Marta Morga, her doubles partner, who is ranked #4 in the US. So now an opportunity for DC Matrix to keep alive their hopes of qualifying for Sunday. Now, they need to win. They need to win in straight sets. As for the Toronto Polar Bears, they defeated the Las Vegas Smash 6-3, 6-2 in their first match. So they win here, and they would have a perfect record, just like the club from Miami. Underway here. A backhand into net from Hudson. Okay, Petrauskate on serve. Good bajada down the middle. Double-handed backhand from Shannon. Carla getting for that shot down the middle. So many shots are aimed down that middle. That corridor of uncertainty. And players aren't too sure where to go. And even gets an applause there from Jordi Lujan Elgay for that wonderful passing shot. Took all the sting out of the shot. Not needed. Great placement. (30-15). Now for the women's doubles here at this PPL 2 event. No presence for the San Diego Stingrays, New York Atlantics, Mexico Waves, LA Beats or Florida Goats. You've got 5 clubs competing here in the women's doubles. Houston Volts, DC Matrix, Toronto Polar Bears, those 2 in action here. Las Vegas Smash and Miami Padel Club. And you've got the reverse for the men's. So the Atlantic Stingrays, Beat, Goats and Waves have been playing in the men's tournament. DC Matrix, Volt, Smash, Miami and Toronto have rested. Again, that shot down the middle. And a break in that opening game. Update from elsewhere. From the Hammerstein Ballroom. Opening set going to Las Vegas Smash. Raquel Eugenio Barrera and Jimena Velasco. 6-2 and they lead 1-0 in that second set against Maria Eulalia Rodriguez and Marta Barrera de la Fuente. That game we followed up by the men's doubles. Houston Volts, Las Vegas Smash. Then it's a turn of Miami Padel Club, Mexico Waves, both women's and men's. That will not commence before 2 o'clock local time in the afternoon here in New York, and before 6, New York Atlantic's Toronto Polar Bears, again a double header, and not before 9 tonight, Florida Goats, Los Angeles Beat. So an action-packed day of paddle here in New York. It's been fun to be here, bringing paddle to hopefully those who play and a new audience this side of the pond. If you get the chance to pick up a racket and have a go, do. It is great fun. It's easy to pick up the basics. It does take some time to get used to the side and back walls, but once you do, you have plenty of fun, and it's a game that is attractive to players of all levels. You don't have to be a former tennis player or a pro or an incredible athlete to enjoy paddle. Oh, wonderful passing shot on that forehand. Amazing. Spotted the gap, and that was a wonderful hit there by Elgay. 3 break points for DC Matrix. Important to break back if you've just been broken. And they've given themselves 3 chances. Hudson, that lob coming up slightly short, but scurries forward, just couldn't scoop it over the net. Still though, 2 more break points. Well, missing the opportunity there. But still, some positives to take from the start by DC Matrix. Hudson serving. Second serve, slightly long. Track back, Hudson takes it first time and slashes it that slightly. Jordi Lujan. When that ball sits up invitingly, sometimes you can have too much time to think. Up by Carla, races forward, tries to cover that middle ground, drops just in. Great shot there from Shannon. Watching this live from the Paddle House, one of 3 venues they've got in New York. A couple in New York City. This one here in Brooklyn at Greenpoint. In fact, there's actually 2 in Brooklyn. The other's at Dumbo, if I'm not mistaken. Sends Elgay back deep. Safest option is always a lob. Just gives you time to get back into position. And depending on the nature of the lob, you can actually turn it into an attacking shot to try and gain control of the net. And a miss there by Elgate. And it's now 3 games to love. Although through a few missed shots and opportunities in 2 of those 3 games, but they did start slow in that defeat to Miami Padel Club. Played their best paddle in the second set, especially at the start, when they took a 2-1 lead. Jordi Lujan. Full name, Jordana. Ranked 293 in the world. Was in the top 200 recently. Plays alongside Camila Ram from Mexico. There's LJ Petrauskate, veteran here at this PPL 2 event. Plays alongside ex-tennis player Shannon Hudson. Victory here. Still a long way to go, of course, for the Toronto Polar Bears. We'd see them also make a clean sweep in this mini round rowing group, and they would join Miami Padel Club as the 2 undefeated teams. Which would mean they would qualify for podium day, and they would take part in day 4 of the competition. Delightful drop shot. Little flick of the wrist, bit of side spin. Jordi Lujan. So over these last 4 days, you've been watching over 50 world-class players at the PPL. Lots of good talent also in this PPL 2. Podium day or championship day is at that iconic venue in New York, the Hammerstein Ballroom, which hosted the Cities Cup, which is the season finale last season. So this season starts where last season ended, and this season will end where last season started. Miami, 3rd to the 6th of December. Oh, slightly wayward on that volley. So what to look forward to on Sunday? Podium day. Now, there are 3rd place matchups, men and women's 1st place matchups. You've got PPL 2, PPL to look forward to. And you can watch all the games live by joining my colleagues Brian Finley and Germán Klaus. They're the commentators on the live English feed, and if you want to watch it in Spanish, you can listen to Javier Carrasco and current pro player Pete Consuegra. So for paddle lovers, there's more paddle coming up on day 4, just not from this venue here in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Chance to get forward for Toronto. that dropped like a dead weight. It's impossible for Elgate to get it back into play. Really good serve. 1-2 service games in that defeat to Miami. Elgate. And they have salvaged one break point. Have to face another, but a chance also for DC Matrix to get their first game of this first set. Delightful shot. Really well played. Good pick up from Shannon. And a mistake by the Toronto Polar Bears. On this occasion, Carla Rodriguez sending the volley straight into the net. And DC Matrix had their first game of this opening set. Well, quick end switch. We'll see some of the highlights. Meanwhile, I will just quickly let you know what's going on elsewhere at the Hammerstein Ballroom, where Las Vegas Smash took the first set 6-2. Houston Volts currently 2-1 in the second set, 40-30. Now, if you're watching this PPL 2, still with us here from the Padel House Greenpoint in Brooklyn, you can log on to Pro Padel League, all together, propadelleague.com, and there, if you go to tournament New York, you've got live matches, you've got a match center, and you can also watch live in English or Spanish the games taking place at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Now, I would stay here. Watch this women's doubles, find out teams that have qualified for Sunday, and then switch over and watch the PPL from Manhattan for the rest of today. It will probably go on long into the night. We had a 14-hour session yesterday, and then return on Sunday for the main event, Podium Day, which will start on the morning. The PPL will start not before midday, but prior to that, you have the PPL 2 matches. 9 o'clock start local time in New York. If you're watching, say, from Europe, Central European summertime, that is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. GMT, that is 2 o'clock. Great time. What else are you going to do on a Sunday afternoon? Just couldn't get under the ball. It's looking for that. Does it really well. Okay. Cross court, backhand slice, aiming for the fence. I've even seen it get it out through the doorway in the match against Miami, which requires incredible racket head control. Couldn't get there. Shannon Hudson. Serving for 5-1 in this opening set. Well, DC Matrix can still pick something out from this match. I mean, they've got to focus now on holding on to their serve. Get the first break. They've come close already in this set with a golden point, and then just keep playing well, because we've seen them play at a really good level on day 2. It is true they've come up against tough opponents in Miami Paddle Club and now Toronto Polar Bears. Love 15. I'd love to know how many of you are watching paddle for the first time and wondering, should I? The answer is clearly yes. Find the nearest club, give it a go. Go with a friend. If you can get a group of 4, even better. You don't need a coach to start with, although a coach will help you progress in the right way a lot quicker. But you know, if you're just in this for a bit of fun, banter, some exercise, it's social appeal as well, then just go with friends, book a call. Rackets start off at, you know, you can get them cheap, of course, like tennis rackets. You can then pay a lot more depending on the racket, on the weight, on what the racket is made from as well. There's a big market out there for all tastes, all budgets, and you will thoroughly enjoy playing paddle. It's great exercise too. I mean, it took its time to conquer parts of Europe, and it's well established in Spain, but we're now seeing courts in the UK. It's booming across England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. In Scandinavia, there's a massive presence. And it is getting bigger here in North America. We're facing set points. DC Matrix missed the first opportunity. Toronto Polar Bears still set point for the Canadian outfit. Serving to stay in the first set, DC Matrix. Does want to get that back over the net. Wasn't easy. Okay, remains forward. Hudson puts it in, trying to take control of the net, and they defend 2 set points to claim the game. 5-2. Still Toronto Bears lead, and they'll be serving for the set when play resumes in just over a minute's time. Some of the highlights from the match so far. Well, a quick update from elsewhere, but remember the website. Jot it down if you still use a pen like I do, or just type it. ProPadelLeague.com. Simple. It says it on the net. ProPadelLeague.com. And there you can check the schedules. There's also great information on the upcoming events. So we are currently enjoying New York, starting on the 9th until the 12th, which is tomorrow. And the upcoming events, if you scroll down, Los Angeles, 13th to the 16th of August. Then it's Mexico, Playa del Carmen, 24th to 27th of September. We stay in Mexico for the next event in November, Guadalajara, and we end with the season finale in Miami, the 3rd to the 6th of December. The teams taking part, all 10, will be present at these events throughout the year, with the best 8 pairings qualifying for Miami. The teams finishing 7th and 8th in the PPL will have to face the best 2 placed teams from the PPL 2 in a play-in. So the top 2 ranked teams, women's and men's, in the PPL 2 will qualify for the play-in at the PPL event in Miami. Hudson with the great volley down at the feet. That is tough. Any shot down at the feet, you're stooping low. You don't have sometimes just room to move your feet out the way. If you dig out the return, it's going up, allowing your opponents, if they've attacked the net, a great opportunity to win the point outright. So that is probably one of the best shots to play if possible. Angled volleys, I mean, if there's a huge gap, aim for the gap, but at the feet is always a safe bet. Okay, Hudson. And Hudson with the winner. Oh, look at this. 15-30. Now, if you've been watching every day, you will see that, yes, it's similar to tennis, but unlike tennis, I think there's probably more strategic gameplay. Lovely punch volley there. Hudson, the right pace, not too slow to allow the opponent's time to get there, not too fast, so it hits the back wall and gives the opponent's time to get there. So here we go. 2 break points for DC Matrix. Great shot down the line there. Looks for it again. Okay. Hudson, the half volley. That's a brilliant shot, really well disguised, really well disguised. But still, it's a golden point, and they won the last golden point. DC Matrix. So another set point for the Toronto Polar Bears. And Shannon Hudson has opted to receive for DC Matrix. The team receiving can choose which of the 2 players is on the end of the serve. Oh, what a brilliant shot down the middle to take the opening set. Toronto Polar Bears 6-2. Oh, we saw some good paddle there from Elgay Petrowski. And also Shannon Hudson, but Arnold Rodriguez, Jordi Luján playing really well, just like they did against the Las Vegas Smash in day 1 when they triumphed 6-3, 6-2. And heading towards podium day, the team from Canada, they would arrive for that fixture unbeaten and perhaps without dropping a single set, just like Miami Paddle Club, the other team with a perfect record after 2 games played. So just waiting for the players to come back out for this second set. Time just quickly to give you another update from what's going on at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Las Vegas Smash took the opening set 6-2. Houston Volts lead 4-3 in the second set. That game approaching the hour mark. Those are the stats from the opening set. Impressive 70%. Serves one. Splitting golden points. And clearly on top in those longer rallies. Carla Rodriguez and Jordi Luján. Okay, Trauskate and Shannon Hudson played better in their second set against Miami Padel Club. Let's see how they come out after this break, after dropping the opening set here in what is the final match of the session. The first two sessions had 4 matches on each day. Day 3, just the 2. Now we're taking slightly longer because the team doctor just had to come over, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he got out like a bandage and a big plaster, and Jordi Luján took off her trainer, on the left hand side, and just received a bit of treatment. Hopefully it's nothing major, a blister, because they've been playing well. Looked like qualifying for podium day. We'll just focus on her movement in this second set. But we're back underway here at Powerhouse Greenpoint in Brooklyn. First set to the Toronto Polar Bears. Seems moving okay. The Argentine. So no foot issue, at least we can tell of. And there she is with the winner. 15-all. Just drops in. Hudson just couldn't get it back into play. Need to try and avoid being broken early in the second set. Whoa, caught Hudson just taking a step towards the centre, which is where the vast majority of shots go if it's not a lob. And the pure power of the shot just catching out Shannon Hudson. So 3 break points at the start of this second set. Double-handed backhand hit so well there. Betel gain again. That's some really good ground shots. That's a deft touch, and that was really good because it hit the fence and dropped So a break at the start of the second set for the Toronto Polar Bears. (4-4) in the second set at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Remember to watch live the PPL from Manhattan. This is day 3. Day 4 is podium day. But before the PPL podium day starts, you can watch the PPL 2 podium day. It will start at 9 o'clock for early risers in New York City. Check out your time zone, the difference, and tune in. Now, I know a lot of people watch from Europe. There's a massive following paddle. Well, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon in UK, GMT. Mainland Europe, it'll be 3 o'clock local time. Right now, it's just gone past 12:15 local time here in the States, on the East Coast. (30:15). Great return. Really good return there from Elgate. Oh, it was out. I thought it was just in. Elgate with that brilliant bajada on the backhand side. Just allows the ball to pass and turns a defensive shot into an attacking one to try and get to the net. Oh, tremendous winner there down the middle. Really well played again. Now, we're seeing DC Matrix lean slightly more on the backhand player, Jordi Luján. Perhaps because Carla Rodriguez is also playing really well, and it was Carla who hit that winner down the middle. 2-love lead. Going long there, Shannon Hudson with the lob. Does want to step out the way there, Elgate. And again, you just see sometimes, in that occasion, you could get it back over the net, but it's best just to allow that ball to pass. Gives you slightly more time, because if the ball is coming at you at pace, you don't have much time to react. Suddenly, you're playing a very defensive shot. You can turn that situation around if you're well positioned, your racket's back, you're ready. You allow it to hit the back glass, and then you use the momentum of the ball coming towards you to attack the net and turn a defensive shot into one that sees you end up at the net in a good position. Great recovery, and again, superb play there by Carla. Had no right to get that second shot back into play. On the back foot in this rally. Now they can come forward, Toronto. Lujan. Oh, well played there by Elgate. Did well to send it into the fence. So they want to face 3 more break points. We'll love 40 down. Comes out nicely for Carla, who comes forward. Scoops it back in to play brilliantly. Shannon Hudson. And that was clever. Fake smash. Elgate raced forward in case it had been hit hard to be at the net, anticipate. And in the end, good placement, good power, good point. And another break in this second set for the Toronto Polar Bears, who are homing in on podium day. Really good match also taking place at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Match point for the Las Vegas Smash, and they've just won it. Raquel Eugenio Barrera, Jimena Velasco, straight set, 6-2, 6-4, beating Houston Volts. So straight set win for the Las Vegas Smash. Coming up next at that prime Manhattan venue, the men's doubles. Same 2 teams. Volts, Smash. Here, it's looking very good for the Toronto Polar Bears. They beat Las Vegas Smash on day 1, 6-3, 6-2. And the same 2 players, Jordi Lujan and Carla Rodriguez, ahead here against the DC Matrix. 6-2 in the first set, and coasting in this second set. Slightly wild from Carla. Carla Rodriguez was ranked as high as 165 in the world, has slipped a little down the rankings, plays alongside Micah Betts, a Dutch player. Definitely no issues with whatever. Saw her receive some treatment at the end of the first set. Hudson with the lob. Lujan sends it back over. This time Elgate has to track back. Of course, lobs are slightly easier if they're cross court, because the distance is longer than if you hit the lob down the line. It's a very popular shot in paddle. There you can see it was a defensive shot used to make it an attacking shot. Now that is some put away from Carla Rodriguez. "29 years old, the American. Her doubles partner, slightly more experienced, 35. Jordana Luján. Slightly long, that first serve. Out from Carla. So what to do as soon as this one ends? Well, there's no more paddle live from the Paddle House Greenpoint in Brooklyn. You would have to watch, and I think you should, the PPL taking place right now as I speak at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It'll be on throughout the day in New York. And if you are in New York, there are some, I think there are some tickets available for Podium Day. Still, go, watch it. There's nothing like watching paddle live. Nothing can beat the courtside experience. And another service game won by Olga Petrauskite. Good, powerful flat serves. Always manages to get lots of depth on the serve, really near that service line. Sometimes the tee down the middle or right up against the glass wall. And so they've won a game also in this second set. Still though, breaks down in this second set. They lost the first set 6-2. It's not yet game over here at Greenpoint. Well, they want to get this done quickly. Toronto Polar Bears, they will be back in action on Podium Day. 9 o'clock a.m. If you're in the US, set an alarm. If you're hoping for a line on Sunday. And if you're elsewhere, I'll just check to see what the time is. It's 9 o'clock start, local time, New York. It's going to be an action-packed day with third, fourth matches in the PPL. Also championship games, both men's and women's doubles, plus the championship games in the PPL 2. Couldn't get that full stretch, Shannon Hudson. And that was well placed by Petrauskite. So drift that lob over Sean Hudson. That's a back trap, did well. Does not allow it to bounce, and that dip viciously. Not easy there for Elgay, for anyone for that matter. These little shots that sometimes just pass you. And as they pass, they're just getting lower and lower. And if they hit that side, they die. 3 chances for a 5-1 lead. Well, there we saw that deft touch. Even Shannon Hudson applauding. 5-1 to the Toronto Polar Bears. Oh, that just arrowed off the glass, straight at Trauskate. 15 love. Well, we could be nearing the close of the session here at Padel House, Greenpoint, Brooklyn. If so, it's been a real pleasure. And hopefully you've enjoyed this PPL too as much as I have. Some few basic rules of thumb I'm going to give you if you are looking just to start playing paddle. Also, if you do play, never bad to have a reminder. That goes long from Jordi Lujan, 15-all. So let's quickly confirm men's standings. Atlantics, DC Matrix men's, both winning their 2 matches. In the women's, it's looking interesting too. I mean, Miami Padel Club have done really well, winning both, and they could be joined by Toronto Polar Bears, who just need 2 more points to win in straight sets. Really looking forward to the games on podium day. Still yet to find out which teams will be playing in the PPL. 3 match points, the passing shot down the line, gifting Toronto Polar Bears the chance to see out the second match, the final game here in Brooklyn. The curtain will come down here. Do join us on Sunday, podium day, from the Hammerstein Ballroom. Lujan with the put away. 6-2, 6-1. Toronto Polar Bears have beaten DC Matrix at the Padel House. Well, some celebrations at one end, not at the other, but still a learning curve. I'm sure there's lots of positives to take for DC Matrix, pairing of Elgate, Trauskate, and Shannon Hudson. And as for Jordi Lujan and Carla Rodriguez, they will progress into podium day alongside Miami Padel Club. We're seeing some of the highlights from this second match. 6-2, 6-1, comfortable for the team from Canada. Earlier today, we saw a victory for the New York Atlantics, also a clean sweep, winning both of their matches. They beat the Florida Goats 7-6, 6-3. Winners Jaime Fermosel and Jose Carlos Gaspar. So the Stingray men's and New York Atlantics winning both their matches. And in the women's division, Toronto Polar Bears and Miami making it a clean sweep forward to those matchups on Sunday. So guys, it has been a real pleasure joining you from this superb venue, Padel House, Greenpoint, Brooklyn. I'd like to thank everybody here who has made this an amazing venue. And also a big thanks to Luis, Justin, Juan, Yanis, Jan, Dennis, the technical manager, everyone else who has made this a big success. Now remember to join us on Sunday, 9 AM local time. I know I've kept reminding you throughout today's two matches, but 9 AM, podium day, championship day, from the incredible venue in Manhattan, Hammerstein Ballroom, which hosted the Cities Cup finals last year. You can join Brian Finley and Germán Klaus for English coverage of podium day. And if you want to, or prefer listening to in Spanish, you've got Pete Consuegra and Javier Carrasco. So from myself, Eric, and the rest of the team here, it has been lots of fun. We've seen some great matches, some super tie breaks, some very promising young players, some very good veterans, and I have to say the future of paddle in North America looks very, very good indeed. So guys, take care, all the best. 6-2, 6-1 it finished here in the Saka match, 7-6, 6-3 to New York Atlantics in the opening game of day 3. We have one final day. Remember, 9 AM local time in New York, podium day for PPL and also PPL 2. For myself and the rest of the team, it's been a pleasure. Stay safe.
We all get the same 24 hours. It just depends on what you do with yours. Every day you open your eyes, you get another chance. Another chance to shoot for the stars. It's up to you, let's go. I don't need no distractions. Haters acting tough on the grams for a reaction. But I know these haters acting, they don't want no action. See me in person, they be lacking better or being mechanics. Haters playing with ratchets lately, I've been more focused. Stacking money to chasing. Pick apart all you haters, I Jason can't Crystal Lake them. Step up like Channing Tatum, but I never vacation. Third string in the first quarter, you know I ain't playing. Used to yell from the rafters, now I hear scream. Dancing on water, something like a dream. A ghost in the shadows, now they call me king. And all this because I believe. I believe. I put my life in this book, I ain't just writing this book. I never give them my back, cause they'll be biting the look. Imagine playing them corners like I was Tyson with hooks. I try to give them an A and A and a bite in the rook. I want the kids in the future to be reciting the hooks. I'm from a place where they don't wait until the knife for they grip. We was on a train to Georgia, end up fighting the pit. How could I not be on TV when I'm writing the script? My side chickens got side chickens. I'm draped in Louis, Chanel, and Prada. The suit tailor made whenever facing your honor. The face people make when getting cold with no armor. The mortuary cold, they toe tagging your karma. You looking for your soul on the inside of Obama. I've been 100%, never needed a charger. And haters getting trap phones waiting to call Obama. Might take all of my money, spend it all in Nevada. And keep up with the Joneses like Pac having Kadada. A rude boy that lived in the hood. get the same 24 hours. It just depends on what you do with yours. Every day you open your eyes, you get another chance. Another chance to shoot for the stars. It's up to you, let's go. I don't need no distractions. Haters acting tough on the grams for a reaction. But I know these haters acting, they don't want no action. See me in person, they be lacking better or being mechanics. Haters playing with ratchets, lately I've been more focused. Stacking money to chasing. Pick apart all you haters, I Jason can't Crystal Lake them. Step up like Channing Tatum, but I never vacation. Third string in the first quarter, you know I ain't playing. Used to yell from the rafters, now I hear scream. Dancing on water,